A little over a year ago, we decided that our RV was too dark. It came with the typical RV color palette that's supposed to make you feel like you are in a cabin in the woods, but ends up just managing to look like an RV color scheme that hasn't been changed since the 70s, maybe 80s. I'm not an interior decorator historian. The point is, it was just too dark. If we camped in it on weekends, it would probably be fine, but we live in our RV and wanted it to be a little brighter. We decided that the best way to give our motorhome a facelift was to paint it. We've always thought of our rig as a ship because it has a lot in common with ships, except it doesn't float, and it has wheels, and it's made to travel roadways and pretty much is useless in a completely remote environment and no road to travel on. Okay, it's really not like a ship, but we like nautical themed stuff. We made a short video showing our before and after painting experience that we did. We think it brightened things up. The only thing we didn't like was that table you see in the photo. It was really too big for that space, and we wanted something that provided storage while still being able to relax. This past December, we had an opportunity to quarantine with my parents in Washington. After our initial self-quarantine period, we were able to be more active in helping them with the house, and they could help us with our little RV makeover project. They were building a house there, and my dad graciously offered the unused lumber he had. With some advice from my dad, who's way better at building stuff than I am, I sketched out how I wanted to build my nautical-themed storage bench. I put all of the measurements I needed on the sketch and cut the wood I would need for the frame. And then I realized I should never cut all the wood before the project is started, and I went out and recut several pieces. Fortunately, I had cut them too long, which is easy to remedy. I designed the frame so the bottom supporting piece would have a gap large enough to slide our little working table legs underneath while sitting. The second issue I ran into was my slide out has large bolts sticking up from underneath on the sides. Those bolts hold my slide together, so removing them was not possible. Originally, a booth was in that position, and the manufacturers probably weren't worried about the bolts because the area was covered. I used a drill to accommodate the bolts. Once the frame was done, I cut a piece of OSB board for the top. Natalie and my mother had gone out to pick up some nautical-themed fabric, and we picked up several mattress toppers that we folded in half to make the top. Putting the fabric on is easy. Stretch the fabric over and staple it to the board on the bottom. We picked up some pre-made wood siding for the front and nailed them on with a nail gun. Next, we needed pillows. After finding the perfect material, we took them to my mother. My mother is talented with a sewing machine and helped us make some pillowcases. We think it all turned out great. Last but not least, the valance above the window did not quite fit the theme. We had enough material left over to use the same stretch and staple method to tie it all in. We love how it turned out, and it has increased our storage space while also being a comfortable area to work in. Our cat Lily seems to agree. If you don't like the way your RV looks, it's amazing what a gallon or two of paint, some 2x4s, and fabric can do to give your RV a makeover. If you enjoyed watching that and want to see some more RV stuff, make sure you click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified when we upload new stuff. Also, check out our website, henleyshappytrails.com. We hope to see you again. Happy trails.